It is August 21st, so we're in Proverbs chapter 21. We're going to look at just verse 1 today. It says, "The king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever he will." I think what we're getting here is a picture of God's providence, not necessarily a picture of God's absolute control over every aspect of this king's life. And this is why. If this is saying that God is in complete control of everything the king does, well, not every king, no king, has done always good, has done everything completely right, has done everything without fault, without error, without sin, without foolish judgment, without unrighteousness. And God is love, God is good, God is righteous, He is holy, He's different from everything and everybody else. Well, if this proverb means that everything the king does, God makes the king do it, then the king would be perfect, and the king would do everything right. So instead of an absolutely sovereign diktat, the God issuing an edict, which controls the king, and then the king in turn passes that on to other people. I think what you're seeing here is a picture instead of God's providential control and His ability to step in and take command if necessary. When you look at the text, the king's heart is a stream of water in the hand of the Lord. He turns it wherever He will. It's more like influence. God is able to influence the king, and God is able to move the king's thoughts, the king's emotions, the king's controls, to control the king. And God can do this with anybody. And so it's not necessarily that God controls every decision you ever make in every aspect of your life. That's not necessarily what this proverb is saying. In fact, I don't think it's what this proverb is saying. But what I do think it's saying is that God has an overriding will which is able to influence us for good. And if necessary, if He wants to, He can take control. And so God is able to turn the king's emotions, the king's heart, the king's will, however or wherever He wants, and He can do the same to us. One person has translated the text like this: "It is very easy for the Lord to make a river run wherever He wants. And in the same way, it is easy for Him to control the thinking of a king, to lead him in the way he wants to go." That's a much better way for us to understand the truth that is being expressed here. It doesn't mean that every decision of every government, of every king, is the decision that God has commanded them to make, because then you have God commanding people to sin. And God is a good God. In Him there is no fault, there is no darkness, there is no wickedness. And so God, the righteous one, would not make wickedness happen. Right? He doesn't make it happen. Now, He can lead people into doing things. He can establish righteousness and justice, and He can even use people's wickedness to bring about good. For example, the crucifixion of Jesus. But God doesn't make them commit wickedness. That's a big, I think, point that we have to focus on, and that we can't let slide under the radar. Is God sovereign? Yes, absolutely. Is God in control of the universe? Completely, totally. He is the sovereign Lord of the universe. Does that mean that God has to make everybody do everything? No, it doesn't. And we know that He doesn't because people choose to sin. And the amazing thing about our sovereign God is not that He makes people do wrong, but that He can take wrong and bring good out of it. That's the amazing thing about God. So that's Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1. It should give you lots to talk about. How you can see God working in your life, influencing things for good, bringing people, directing people, doing all sorts of things that we can't necessarily see until we find out how they have worked out for the good later. And that's kind of the amazing thing about God's providence, is we don't always know it's happening when it's happening, and we can't always tell where God is going when He is working. So Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 1, I hope this is helpful, and may God bless us all.